So with day 3 of E3 2018, Square Enix came out and showcased a few of their games. Some of the games we already knew and we already saw them in previous press conferences. Now Square Enix press conference was a bit different this year. It seemed most of the interviews were on a screen. As I recall, there was no one that actually went on stage. It was relatively really short, but that is because they actually showed some of the games beforehand, before their own press conference. So some of the games that were announced at their press conference were already announced previously at other press conferences, like I think it was Microsoft and EA's press conference. But we're just going to talk briefly on it. One of the games that they showcased was Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's expanded its stealth options. It's also going to have a 360 basically like a 360 view when you're going in underwater. So there's going to be the option for diving in underwater and searching for loot, tombs, maybe even hidden treasure. They also confirmed there's going to be more tombs, more loot to be found. They're also doing the expanding on their stealth, so you can like jump on trees, shoot from afar, use a bow and arrow with poison darts, and a lot more stuff is bringing new content to Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We also had the Adventures of Captain Spirit. This is going to be connected to Life is Strange 2. I was a bit surprised when I found out they were making a Life is Strange 2 game, considering that we did have Life is Strange and then Life is Strange Before the Storm. And Life is Strange 2, not sure what's going to happen there. Are we going to see like something after Life is Strange? Is it going to be something after Life is Strange, the first game? Is it going to be something after that time? Is it going to be before it? Is it going to be in like filling the gaps? We're not sure yet. We don't know. All we know is that this game, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, is connected to Life is Strange 2 Season 2. We also did get Babylon's Fall, a trailer that was released for Babylon's Fall. This game honestly looks very, very good in my opinion. It also looks, And that pretty much wrapped it up for Square Enix press conference. Like I said, most of the games that they showcased we already knew. We already know that we're going to come out, so it wasn't actually nothing relatively new that they were actually giving to us. Now we're going to be talking about Ubisoft's press conference. With Ubisoft's press conference, we did get some actual gameplay footage and some story footage of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, we already knew Assassin's Creed Odyssey was going to come out thanks to a leak from Canada's Walmart, but we already knew Assassin's Creed Odyssey was going to come out. We didn't see any gameplay footage yet. All we saw was the first thing we ever got was a trailer of someone kicking a guy off a cliff like, "This is Sparta," and he kicks him off. It doesn't actually quite say that, but you kind of get it. But we got some gameplay footage for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm not sure how to feel about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I mean, Assassin's Creed Origins, they took their time and their effort to develop a really, really good game. And to come out a year later with another Assassin's Creed, I feel like they're going back into the same footsteps. They're falling back into the same routine where every year we get an Assassin's Creed. Every year is an Assassin's Creed. So I'm not sure how to feel about this game. The game looks like it has some of the game mechanics and some of the things that were in Assassin's Creed Origins. But like I said, I'm not sure how to feel about the game. I'm not sure whether to be excited for it, whether to be disappointed for it, whether to be, I don't know, not wanting to play it, because honestly, I haven't even complete Assassin's Creed Origins. And this is what a lot of people were saying, is that if people don't have like a lot of time on their hands, some people work like 48-hour shifts a week, not 48 hours, 48 hours a week. That only gives them like 1 or 2 days off, and that gives them like a couple hours to complete an Assassin's Creed game. And Assassin's Creed, like Assassin's Creed Origins, that game it takes a while for you to actually complete. So it takes about, if you're an average gamer or an average PC player, and you don't like spend like 6 hours a day playing in a game, you might play between 2 to 3 hours, and that gives you a rough time between like 2 to 3 months to actually complete an Assassin's Creed game, considering like you have work, you have other responsibilities, and or maybe even have school. And to come up with the game every year, it kind of at least give the people. I like how Assassin's Creed Origins, it gave us a space to breathe. Like, oh, okay, we finished this game. Let's rest a bit. Not more like, oh, we finished the game. Oh, we have to go to the next one. Oh, I have to finish up the other one. It's just, I don't know. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm not sure what to feel about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yes, the game looks good. The story-wise looks good. But I am also not quite sure how to feel about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Next up, we have Beyond Good and Evil. Now, this game, I know a lot of people are really, really excited for this game, but I don't see any appeal into it. It's just like the same way I have the feeling towards Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of people like Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't. I can't get myself to actually start watching. I mean, I tried watching the first one. Didn't like it. I tried watching the second one, got halfway through the movie, and I was like, no, I'm not enjoying this. I just stopped watching it. So I can't get a grasp on Beyond Good and Evil. But we did get a trailer and some gameplay footage. I believe it was some gameplay. I'm not sure if it was gameplay footage. Could be in-game engine footage or whatever. But we did get some footage on Beyond Good and Evil. We also got footage of The Crew 2, which are going to be available for platforms PC, PS4, Xbox One, and its release date is June 29th. It gives you a more variety of different cars, better vehicles, a more variety of things, more things that were in the first game, The Crew. So I'm going to just skip right over this, but we're getting a Just Dance 2019, whatever. Now I'm going to briefly cover on this because we already covered this already, but we are getting a Division 2 that was announced also at Ubisoft's press conference. Division 2 gave us a little bit more gameplay, a little bit more backstory of actually what's going to happen, what's going on, and what's the origin of this whole story. Also, the first 3 episodes that they're going to be coming out are entirely free. So the free deal, though, you get 3 free DLCs. It's a bold move there for Ubisoft. We also finally got some actual in-game footage of Skull and Bones. Now, I am very excited for this game. I'm excited for the way the game is going to be set. Pirates, raiding, teaming up with friends online, so whoever you fight with could be another player. We got some actual footage of Skull and Bones. I am very excited for this game. The game is set to be released sometime in 2019. It will be available for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. We also did get Starlink Battle for Atlantis, which showcased a variety of different characters, but the one most of all was Star Fox. Now, I've been a fan of Star Fox since I was a young kid, and I was, I got a little excited, but not so much as the game is not really what I would play now, but I was excited just to see Star Fox actually on this game.
Just a sec, bud.
What's going on?
Now, something that blew all of our minds away was that Elijah Wood actually came on stage and showcased a game that he developed. His company developed, apparently. I didn't know he was actually a gamer. I mean, it took us all by surprise. I mean, a Twitch chat was just yelling out Frodo, 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 and everyone noticed that he was also wearing the ring. So that was also fun. But we also get a new game called Transference. It's a game. It looks like it looks along the lines of Transcendence. I don't know if you ever guys watched the movie, but you're like hooking up yourself to a computer and you can go inside the guy goes in his mind, goes inside a computer. From what it looks like, from the way the trailer shows, it looks like a dad has hooked up his son's self-conscious, his mind, into something, and the boy looks like he's trying to escape, or someone is trying to let him know that his dad is lying, or something's off about all this, and the boy looks like from the gameplay, it looks like your objective is trying to escape this dimension of I'm not quite sure. It looks like you're in some type of computer, or from what it looks like you're in some computer, or your mind is hooked up to something. From what it looks like you have to try to escape this. Now that wraps up Square Enix and Ubisoft's press conference. Like I said, Square Enix didn't have much to show. It was a really short. Everyone was at the end of it. Everyone was tweeting out, "Wait, what? Was that it?" Well, everyone's like, "Wait, what?" Like that's too short. I mean, but as expected, they did show some of the games. It looks like they didn't have a lot of games to show, so they kind of went ahead and teamed up with some of the other press conference like EA and Microsoft so they can show their games. So there's more, so they're able to get more out there, because if their conference was this short and they released and we didn't get any information like for Tomb Raider or the Adventures of Captain Spirit in previous press conferences, most of the people probably won't remember them, because they will remember it, but it won't be such of a oh wow as if it was not shown in like Microsoft's press conference, where we got so many games and everyone's all hyped up. So whatever game we got or whatever game we saw was just gonna hype us up more. So there's that. Next, we'll be talking about Sony's press conference, and also we'll be talking about some of the games, not all of them, because there are quite a lot of games from the PC Gamer Show. They were also announcing some games that were going to be released. I'm not going to go in full depth detail of each game since there were so many games. It was kind of hard to keep up with all of them that were being released, but I'm going to pinpoint and talk about maybe some of the major ones, some of the ones I actually found interesting. So to start things off with Sony's press conference. Now, Sony's press conference was a bit of in my opinion, was a little bit weird and strange. The way they presented themselves was a bit off, in my opinion, compared to the rest of the other press conferences that we had. But nonetheless, we had a few good games that are actually going to be released, and actually are teasers that were trailered out, and some gameplay as well. And one of these games, starting off with, is The Last of Us 2. We actually got some official in-game footage of The Last of Us 2. From what it looks like, as we recall from the previous game, it takes place after the first Last of Us. I never really played the first game, The Last of Us, the first game that came out. So no spoilers. I'm not sure what happens. I'm not sure if the guy is still alive. Did he die? I know the girl. Well, they were trying to save the girl because she was immune, and the enemies were trying to get her or trying to use her for something of the sort. But anyways, we got some final footage and some some really good gameplay footage of The Last of Us 2. We also got some in-game footage of the new game Spider-Man, which is supposed to be released sometime this fall. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't like the Spider-Man games. I never like any Marvel games, so I know some people were excited for this, but we did get a Spider-Man game and some gameplay footage. It looks like Spider-Man's over at Arkham Asylum. From what it looks like, he's at Arkham Asylum. I'm not sure who the lady was in the helicopter. Like I said, I never played any of the Spider-Man games, any of the Amazing Spider-Man games, or any of the Marvel games that have been released by Sony. But I mean, the game looks all right. It looks relatively interesting. I like some of the characters that are in this game. Spider-Man, I mean, they did Spider-Man pretty well. I mean, you got to get Spider-Man right if you're gonna do a game. But anyways, Spider-Man, it's just called Spider-Man, I guess. It's not really. There's no really Spider-Man something. It's just. We also got Nioh 2. Now, Nioh 2, I never really played the first game, so I'm not sure what this game is about. It didn't really pique my interest. It looked alright. The visual effects, the trailer and everything, the explosions, the fire and everything like that did look very interesting. But considering I never really played the game, I'm not sure if this game is going to continue with the previous game, or it's just going to be a new game. It's just, it's called number 2, but it doesn't necessarily have to continue with the other one. So can you pick this up and play it without having to know the other game, the story of the other one? I'm not quite sure. So we also, like I said, we got Nioh 2. It's all right. It looks all right, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to actually go ahead and pick it up. We finally got some footage, some gameplay footage of Death Stranding. This is a game I've actually am very in love with. The characters look so realistic. The main character is I forgot his name. I forgot the actor's name, but he plays in The Walking Dead. He's the biker. He's the guy with the cool dude who always rides the bike, who always is who owns the crossbow or something like that. But very excited for this game. It's actually I'm very happy that we actually got to see some in-game footage of Death Stranding since I believe it was last year or sometime in this year. We got some in-game. We didn't get some in-game gameplay, but we did get a trailer that was shown for this game. So like I said, very excited for this game. Very interesting to see how the game actually plays out. From what it looks like, we are stranded on some remote planet, and there's some creatures that are invisible to the naked eye, unless you have a little sensor that kind of looks like a little flashlight that kind of blinks or spins when you're ever nearby one, and it'll basically show you like a little shadowy figure of the other character. They look like aliens to me, like aliens from like the Alien versus Predator with the long giant tails. But from what it looks like they're more like entities, like floating entities, not really solid life forms. They're more like floating mist creatures that kind of float in space. You can't see them, but you can't see their footprints when they step on the ground. But it's like they're like invisible, but they're not invisible. They kind of float around the air, and they kind of, when they see you, they create a black puddle of mud and goo, and then they just pull you down. We also have a baby in this trailer and part of the gameplay. Not sure what the baby is. Maybe the baby has to do with the lady. Maybe we're trying to save this kid. That maybe that's our girlfriend or wife. I'm not quite sure. But as the main character walking around, you see him holding like a little pouch. It's like a little like round cylinder on his belly, basically containing this baby. And this baby can basically give a thumbs up. So this baby, something's a bit weird about this baby. This baby is not what it should be. But very excited for this game. Like I said, Death Stranding. Game called Trevor Saves the Universe. I didn't like it. I thought it was pathetic. So I'm not going to talk much about that. What I am going to talk about is Resident Evil 2. I've been in love with the Resident Evil games and the movies since I can't even remember. I've watched every single Resident Evil movie. I've played almost every single Resident Evil game, back to, I believe it was just the original Resident Evil games. So to see Resident Evil 2 continuing after Resident Evil Biohazard, it just, I knew that was a Resident Evil game the moment I saw the character. I just recognized, I was like, I know who that is. That guy's Chris. I'm very pumped up for this game. I'm surprised we actually got some in-game footage of the game itself, of you walking around shooting creatures. For a moment there, I was a bit off. Maybe at first my thought was, is this a game about you playing as a little rat or something like that, and you have to go on adventures and you see things that go on around the world? Because from the beginning of the trailer, we were looking through the eyes and the perspective of a rat, where you see someone is trying to arrest someone, and this rat is looking up, trying to avoid getting squished by all the cans and the stuff that are falling off the shelf. Eventually, the rat does get squished by the giant shelf that crushes him, and I thought, okay, if the rat died, are we playing as rats? Or are we playing as some little critter that's like observing something? We have like a mission to try to get back to our home. But then afterwards, I saw a zombie. I was like, wait, hold up. There's a zombie in this game. It's not The Last of Us. We just saw Last of Us recently. It's got to be something relatively recent. And the moment I saw that character, I was like, yep, this is a Resident Evil game. Like, definitely. Very excited for this game. We also have a game called Control. If someone looks like she has like some special power abilities. It looks like it's like a continuation of Quantum Break, but not necessarily Quantum Break 2. Kind of looks a bit similar to that. Not quite sure. I know Quantum Break was really bad, had really bad reviews. It wasn't, people didn't like it at all. So I'm not quite sure how Sony's gonna bring this new game Control to the game. All we got was just a girl standing, people floating, her bending objects at her own will, creating objects. For example, she created a gun just out of thin air. So I'm not quite sure if this is some type of mind game where this girl has a special ability powers to control, go between time and space, and like bring these guns, make these guns out of thin air by bending time. I'm not quite sure. The game looks alright. We didn't get much gameplay on it. All we just got was kind of like more like cinematic trailers, like kind of like in-game footage, but not in-game footage, like more like in-game engine footage, not officially, like something like Star Wars Battlefront 2 did when they released their gameplay, like their trailer for it. It looked like it was in-game footage, but it actually wasn't. But we got a game Control. Very excited for this one. It looks like it's going to be coming out sometime in 2019. And finally, we got Destiny 2 Forsaken. I'm probably going to pick up Destiny at some point because I honestly really want to try Destiny 2. I know that game is also available for PC. Destiny 1 is not available for PC, but I know Destiny 2 is available for PC. So I'm probably going to go ahead and pick it up, maybe get in a Humble Bundle or something like along the lines of that, and be able to play this new DLC, because from what I heard, Destiny is really good. So going ahead and probably purchase that as well. But we got a new gameplay, or more not gameplay, but more like a teaser for Destiny 2. And finally, to finish it all off, we finally got some gameplay footage, or not game. We already got gameplay footage of this game. We got more of just kind of just telling us what's going to be in the game. It's Black Ops 4, new maps, new mode, new different maps are coming back into the game. Not a fan of Black Ops. I've never really been a big fan of Call of Duty. I don't like the idea they're putting the battle royale to it. And the same way with Battlefield, they're putting also a battle royale. I know Battlefield and Call of Duty have always been competing. EA and Activision have always been competing. So it's very understanding that if Call of Duty put a battle royale into their game, Battlefield is also going to put a battle royale into the game. So we got some information that we kind of already knew. We didn't get any in-game footage of multiplayer or the story or anything like that from Black Ops 4, and that was the last thing they showed for Sony's press conference. My overall rating of the press conference is a 4 out of 10. Honestly, in my opinion, they kind of started out things really weird. They were in a church. The first 15 minutes or first 10 minutes was just some dude playing the guitar, a weird way to introduction of The Last of Us. And then for the Shadow of Tushu, whatever game that is, we also had a guy playing the flute. Kind of weird, very short for Sony, very, very short. Like I said, my overall rating on this is a 4 out of 10. Wasn't fully impressed. In my opinion, Microsoft did way better. Microsoft is still the top dog when it comes to E3 2018. Microsoft outdid themselves, and so did Bethesda. EA, Sony, you really got to work it up. I feel like Sony and EA are just trying to kind of copy everyone else and not focusing on the way they present things. Hopefully Nintendo maybe brings out some nicer games, some cooler games, nothing that is really boring. Hopefully they don't do a dance thing like they did last year. I remember that was pretty cringy. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. This was day 3 of E3 2018. Telling you guys, I'll be seeing you all later. Peace out.